A millionaire saved a drowning child from the river but was later pushed into river. A Millionaire's Redemption Chapter 1. The Storm's Gift, 2012 words. Rain lashed Willow Creek with relentless fury, transforming its cobblestone streets into treacherous streams. Thunder roared, shaking the ancient oaks, while lightning carved jagged paths across the sky. Victor Langley. A millionaire whose name echoed through real estate empires and tech ventures, trudged through the deluge, his tailored wool coat sodden and useless. At 42, he was a titan of industry, his wealth a fortress built from a boyhood of poverty, watching his mother scrub floors to feed him. Yet tonight, the storm stripped him bare, exposing the hollow core beneath his success. No wife, no children. Only the relentless churn of ambition that had both made and unmade him. He'd dismissed his chauffeur after a late meeting, craving the storm's raw honesty over the sterile comfort of his limousine. "I need to walk," he'd snapped, though he sought escape from the weight of his own thoughts. His mansion, a Georgian sprawl on a hill, was a mile away. But the old stone bridge over Willow River loomed ahead, its arches weathered but unyielding. Victor quickened his pace, the wind whipping his dark hair into his eyes, his polished shoes slipping on slick stones. He gripped his briefcase tighter, as if it could anchor him against the gale. Halfway across, he froze. A wicker basket huddled against the bridge's low railing, partially shielded by a tattered blanket flapping in the wind. The sight was so jarring that Victor squinted through the rain, certain he'd misseen. The blanket shifted, and a faint cry pierced the storm's roar, a baby's wail. Small but unmistakable. His heart lurched. Dropping his briefcase, he knelt, knees sinking into muddy grit, and hesitated before peeling back the soaked cloth. A girl, no more than a few months old, lay nestled in damp rags, her face red from cold, fists clenched as she cried, her wide, glistening eyes locked onto his, radiating trust that struck Victor like a physical blow. "Who would do this?" he whispered, scanning the empty bridge. Rain and shadow cloaked the world, offering no answers. His fingers brushed a scrap of paper pinned to the blanket, its ink smudged but legible. "Please, love her." "I can't." The words were a mother's desperate plea, raw and human, slicing through Victor's carefully built walls. He'd seen desperation, tenants begging, rivals pleading, but this was different. A call he couldn't ignore. He scooped the basket into his arms, cradling it against his chest. The baby's warmth seeped through his wet coat, startlingly intimate. "I've got you," he said, unsure if he reassured her or himself. He needed to get her to safety, his mansion, a hospital, anywhere but this bridge. He turned, the basket heavy, and took a step. A shadow flickered in the corner of his eye, a hooded figure, indistinct in the storm's veil. Before Victor could react, a rough shove sent him staggering. His foot caught the bridge's crumbling edge, where ancient stone gave way to jagged gaps. He reached for the railing, but his fingers grasped air. The world tilted, and he plummeted into the Willow River, the baby's cry echoing as icy water swallowed them. The river was a living beast, clawing at his lungs, dragging him into its black depths. Panic sharpened his senses. The basket, where was it? His hands groped blindly, brushing wicker. It bobbed, buoyant despite the current. Seizing it, he pulled it close and kicked toward the surface. The baby's faint wails his lifeline. His head broke free, and he gasped, choking on water and air. The river tossed him like driftwood, slamming him against a rock. Pain exploded in his ribs, but he shielded the basket, refusing to let go. By some miracle, the current weakened, spitting them onto a muddy bank. Victor collapsed, chest heaving, the basket cradled against him. Rain pounded his back as he fumbled with the blanket, hands shaking. The baby was there, coughing, shivering, but alive. Her tiny hand grasped his finger, and relief flooded him, tears mingling with the rain. "You're okay," he rasped, pulling her inside his coat to share his warmth. He staggered to his feet, scanning the darkness. The bridge was gone, the town's lights faint. His mansion was the closest refuge. He trudged through the mud, each step a battle, the hooded figure haunting his thoughts. Why? Robbery. Revenge. Victor had enemies, but this felt personal, tied to the child he held. Her soft whimpers kept him focused. She was all that mattered. The trek was endless, the storm unrelenting. When he reached his estate, he pounded on the oak doors. Strength fading. Mrs. Evelyn, his housekeeper, flung them open, her stern face blanching. Mr. Langley. What's happened? Blankets, milk, a doctor, now, he croaked. She ushered him inside, barking orders. The grand foyer, with its marble and chandelier, felt absurdly opulent against the fragile life in his arms. Victor sank onto a settee, mud be damned, and checked the baby. Her eyes fluttered open, a soft coo escaping, as if she trusted him still. An unfamiliar ache bloomed in his chest. Mrs. Evelyn returned with blankets and a bottle. Doctor's coming, she said, peering at the baby. Where'd you find her? Bridge, Victor said. Someone left her. And someone pushed me into the river. Her hand flew to her mouth. Who? Don't know. He rubbed his temple, the figure's shadow sharp but vague. But I'll find out. She stays here, Evelyn. No authorities yet. Dr. Harrow arrived, examining the baby with care. Cold, hungry, but a fighter, he said. You did well, Mr. Langley. Victor nodded, the praise hollow. He hadn't chosen this. Yet the baby, Lily, he'd named her. For his mother's favorite flower, had chosen him. As she slept, swaddled and fed, he felt a pull he couldn't explain. He'd never wanted a child. But this one was prying open his heart, and he'd protect her. No matter what secrets the river held. Chapter 2, Shadows of Trust, 1998 words. Dawn broke over Willow Creek. The storm's chaos replaced by a fragile calm. Sunlight streamed through Victor Langley's manor, illuminating the nursery where Lily slept in a crib, hastily assembled by the staff. Mrs. Evelyn rocked nearby, her stern demeanor softened by the baby's presence. Victor stood in the doorway, ribs aching, eyes gritty from a sleepless night. The river, the hooded figure, Lily's trusting gaze, they churned in his mind. A puzzle he couldn't solve. He thrived on control. But now he felt tethered only by the child before him, Mr. Langley. Rest, Mrs. Evelyn urged. Your ribs, later, Victor cut in, nodding at Lily. How is she? Strong, Mrs. Evelyn said, a faint smile breaking through. But she needs more than formula. A name, a future. Her name's Lily, Victor said firmly. She stays here. No police until I know who left her and who tried to kill me. Mrs. Evelyn's eyebrows rose, but she nodded. Victor retreated to his study. A sanctuary of mahogany and leather, and dialed Marcus Reed, a private investigator he trusted for discreet work. Last night, someone left a baby on the Willow River Bridge, Victor said. I found her, and someone pushed me into the river. I need names, motives, everything. Marcus whistled. You've got enemies, Langley. Any leads? A note, Victor said. Please, love her. I can't. Start with the bridge, witnesses, cameras. On it, Marcus said. If this is personal, watch your back. Victor hung up, Marcus's warning echoing. He checked his estate's security footage, nothing but rain. The bridge was a blind spot, so he'd need to return. But first, Lily. Mrs. Evelyn had said she knew his voice. In the nursery, Lily stirred, her face scrunching. Victor lifted her, her warmth grounding him. She settled against his chest, grasping his thumb. And the chaos in his mind stilled. Your trouble, he murmured. A half-smile forming. A sharp knock shattered the moment. Mrs. Evelyn checked the security panel, a woman in a grey coat, scarf hiding her face. Victor handed Lily over and descended the stairs, pulse quickening. He opened the door, blocking the entrance. Who are you? The woman lowered her scarf, revealing red-rimmed eyes and sharp features. I'm Clara, she said, voice trembling. I heard about the baby. I think she's mine. Victor's grip tightened. How do you know? Word spreads, Clara said, gaze faltering. I didn't leave her, but I know who might have. Please, let me explain. Suspicion warred with her desperation. The hooded figure flashed in his mind. Come in, he said, tone cold. 5 minutes. In the drawing room, Clara stood, clutching a worn purse. Victor leaned against the unlit fireplace, arms crossed. Why do you think she's yours? Clara pulled out a creased photo, a baby with Lily's eyes. In the same blanket. Her name's Emily. She said, voice breaking. She's my daughter. I left her with my sister, Rachel, yesterday while I worked. When I got home, they were gone. Rachel's apartment empty. Then I heard about the bridge. It's her. Victor studied the photo, expression neutral. Why would Rachel leave her? Clara's tears fell. Rachel's in trouble, debts, bad people. She said she'd keep Emily safe, but she's scared. Someone's controlling her. I think they made her do it. Who? Victor pressed, thinking of the hooded figure. A name. I don't know. Clara sobbed. Rachel wouldn't say. Just that she owed them and they'd hurt Emily. Victor's jaw clenched. Willow Creek's underbelly, loan sharks. Crooks touched his own past. Deals built on others' desperation. Guilt stirred. Why no police? Rachel said they'd kill Emily, Clara whispered. You're powerful, Mr. Langley. You can help. Victor turned to the fireplace, Clara's plea echoing the note's cry. Was she the mother, or a liar? The figure's shove suggested a deeper game. I'll help, he said. But Emily, Lily, stays here until I'm sure. You don't see her yet. Clara nodded, relief and fear mingling. Victor saw her out, noting her nervous glance at the street. He called Marcus. Clara claims the baby's hers. Says her sister Rachel left her. Tied to someone dangerous, debts, maybe organized. Find Rachel and who she's running from. This is messy, Marcus said. Your money won't shield you. I'm not hiding, Victor replied. He drove to the bridge, the river now calm. On the bank, he found a silver locket in the mud. Its photo showing 2 women, one like Clara. The other younger, haunted. Rachel, he guessed. The locket tied Clara's story to the scene, but raised questions. Was Clara hiding something? Back at the manor, Victor held Lily, her gurgle steadying him. You're rewriting me, he said, smiling wryly. His walls were crumbling, and Lily was the cause. The locket, Clara's tears. The hooded figure, they pointed to a truth he'd uncover, for her sake. His redemption wasn't just saving her. It was becoming the man she needed. Chapter 3. The River's Truth. 2005 words. Victor stood in his study. The silver locket open on his desk. Its photo of Clara and Rachel a silent challenge. 2 days had passed since the bridge. And Marcus had tracked Rachel to a rundown motel on Willow Creek's edge. Her handwriting matched the note, confirmed by a sample from her apartment. The hooded figure remained elusive. But Marcus had a lead, a loan shark named Kessler, who preyed on the desperate. Clara called daily, pleading for Emily. But Victor kept her at bay. Her fear of Kessler hinting at unspoken truths, Lily, Emily, had become his anchor. Her coups and grasping hands filled the void he'd carried for years. He'd expected to guard her jealously. But her presence was reshaping him. Stirring a purpose beyond wealth. Marcus arrived at dusk, his jacket damp from rain. Rachel's ready to talk, he said, tossing a file down. She's scared. Kessler's crew runs deep extortion. Threats. Rachel borrowed money for medical bills. Couldn't pay. They told her to leave Emily on the bridge as a warning to Clara, who'd been asking about Kessler's deals. Victor's fists clenched, a warning. By abandoning a child. Kessler's cruel. Marcus said. He knew Clara would break. Rachel swears she didn't push you. That was Kessler's enforcer. Doyle, they saw you take the baby. Figured you'd interfere. Doyle's a shadow, likes knives. Victor's ribs throbbed. Recalling the river. Where's Doyle? Hiding, Marcus said. Rachel will testify if you protect her. And Clara. Kessler's the target, and him. This stops. Victor nodded, mind racing. Kessler's world. Brushed his own, shady lenders. Who'd funded his early deals? Their money greasing his rise, guilt burned, his empire had fed this pain. Indirectly weaving the web that trapped. Emily, redemption meant dismantling it. He met Rachel that night in a safe house. A drab apartment with barred windows. She was thin, hollow-eyed. Clutching a photo of Emily. I didn't want to leave her. She whispered, they said they'd kill Clara. I thought someone would find her. Victor's anger softened. Someone did, he said. She's safe, help me end this. Rachel nodded. Tears falling. Kessler's meeting. Doyle tomorrow at the River Street warehouse. They are moving cash. I overheard them. Victor shared the details with Marcus, who coordinated a police sting using Rachel's testimony. The next night, Victor watched from a distance as officers swarmed the warehouse, arresting Kessler and Doyle. The hooded figure, Doyle, glared as he was cuffed. His face unremarkable but malicious. Victor felt relief. Not triumph. The threat to Emily was gone. Clara arrived at the manor the next morning. Her face etched with gratitude and grief. Victor led her to the nursery, where Emily gurgled in her crib. Clara sobbed, scooping her daughter up. Thank you. She choked. I thought I'd lost her. Victor stepped back, chest tight. He'd expected to fight to keep Emily, but Clara's love was undeniable. Their bond hadn't broken. It had changed him, carved a new path. You're both safe, he said. Kessler's done. I've set up a fund, housing, education, no strings. Clara's eyes widened. Why? I was part of this world, Victor said. Voice low, not Kessler's, but close. I can't undo it, but I can make it right for her. He visited the bridge one last time. The river calm under a clear sky. The locket, returned to Clara, had held the truth. Two sisters caught in a web he'd helped weave. Emily had been the storm's gift, showing him what mattered. His mother's lilies, resilient, bloomed in his memory. And he smiled, a weight lifting. At the manor, Victor began reshaping his empire, selling predatory investments, funding community projects, starting a foundation for families like Clara's. The hollow core was filling, not with wealth, but purpose. Emily had been his redemption, a tiny hand guiding him to a life worth living. Though she was no longer his, she'd left him reborn.